All right. Okay, Mike. We're doing it.
PUDcast is filmed before a live Facebook audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a live edition of the PUDcast with Jason and Mike. I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
And we're coming to you from the Pud Cave, located here in Game Swap in beautiful downtown Lincoln in the great state of North Carolina. Mikey, brother, what is going on?
PUD's After Dark, man.
Brother, this is going to be a wild one. Hopefully everybody's listening on Facebook Live. We're hoping. Hey, it looks like somebody's saying hey already, so we definitely got people on Facebook listening to us. And Mikey, we have got the First and Fright Paranormal team back here in the Pud Cave. And brother, it's a full house tonight.
Yes, it is. Look at this crew.
Yeah. Woo, what's going on?
Hello. Let them know you're here.
We are. Yeah, let's hear some noise from the First and Fright. Yeah.
Here we are.
Guys, once again, man, we are so happy that you guys are here. Mike, I'll tell you what, let's go around the room and let's let everybody introduce themselves. We'll start with Facebook Live's very own Ron Burleson here. The one and only.
I'm Ryan Burleson with First and Fright Paranormal.
All right. Who's next?
Alex Gaddy.
Andy Burleson.
Carol Humbert.
And Jeremy Humbert.
Dawn Adams.
All right. And that is the First and Fright. We got anybody else talking or anything? We good?
Anybody out here?
Anybody else?
Get everybody?
Is that everybody?
All right.
Bueller? All right. Guys, once again,
We're live.
We're live, man. We hope we sound good. We hope we're doing it good, man. Mike, we had a couple little technical issues this week. Believe it or not, that's kind of crazy for us. And we figured it out yesterday that we had some issues. So I want to go ahead before we get too deep in this episode and give a special thanks to Chad Scott, the owner-operator of USA Main Event Wrestling, who basically let us have the computer for tonight so we could, have a show. Really worked out. Ryan, I'm going to jump to you, brother. The last time we talked, you guys had a lot of things going on. You had a lot of things in the works. And you said you wanted to come back and talk about it. So, brother, you're here. We're live. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, I want to throw this out to everybody that's listening. After this, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live paranormal investigation on our brand new Facebook private group page. There is a way to get in on that, and you need to go over to patreon.com and look up First and Fright Paranormal. And we have two different tiers out there where you can get a lot of extra content. With that content comes, like today, a lot of embarrassing moments for the team that we posted. We are putting out our YouTube videos 2 days earlier than the general public, where you can view them there on Patreon and on the private group page for a certain tier. And one of them is $3 and one of them is $6. And it's a great way to get involved in more intimate investigations with us, where we can be more involved than with a couple hundred people watching. Bottom line, we've done this now for 2 years free.
Right. And
just to keep it as simple as possible for everyone that's listening is, we spend an average of $75 a month on just batteries.
Right.
Let's not talk about cables and all the other things we have to buy to keep this thing up and running. Right. And we chose to share this with the public. We're very well aware of that. But we want to continue to share it with the public. But we need to alleviate that cost a little bit. And $3 and $6 is, the average cost of your typical Big Mac meal at McDonald's. Yeah. And when you go to McDonald's, you know what you're going to eat. You're going to get it no matter how much it costs, because that's what you want.
Yeah.
And if you want that content, that's not asking a whole lot. So we're just trying to alleviate that cost through Patreon. And we found out here recently that our go-to was GoFundMe, and GoFundMe has recently started charging our folks 10 to 15%.
Oh Lord, man.
For tips. And once we found that out, we didn't want everyone getting charged this extra amount. That's not what we're wanting to happen to them. So that's why we moved over to that. So if you go over to Patreon and you jump in on that and you get those tiers, especially the $6 tier, which is the Frontline Fright Pass, you'll be able to see tonight. You'll be able to see our private Facebook group, Facebook Live. Yeah, yep. You'll have to ask for an invite, and then we'll invite you, or we'll bring you into the group, and you'll be able to view it there on that private page with us tonight. And there'll be I hope, we don't know how many there'll be of those a month, but we're going to do as many of those as we can. We are going to continue to do the same normal material that we're doing every month, our post to the public, everything, all the stuff, like try to do a Facebook Live a month like we're doing now. But this is just to get in there a little bit further with us, get to know us a little bit better, and join us on a more private investigation. And it's a great way to get to know us and us to get to know you, and to have some really good investigations with people that love what we do.
Right. And I'll go ahead and say right now, you guys are definitely a lot better than McDonald's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just saying,
that.
what you guys are asking for what you give back, I think is, to say it's more than fair would be an understatement.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, tell me about what's been going on since last time you were here.
Well, so this podcast is really all about what was promised the last time we were here. We decided last time you guys had promised us we would do this live, and here we sit doing it live with a live audience on Facebook Live, and we wanted to be able to discuss freely and openly as a team what we experienced and what happened on our trip out to Villisca, Iowa, to the Villisca Axe Murder House, and then to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. And then the 23-hour miserable ride home after that.
Straight.
Straight shot, really.
And that is the only time I've ever witnessed two sunrises in the same vehicle, not nonstop.
Without
that
sleep.
was crazy.
It was insane.
That sounds scarier than the house. I mean,
That van smelled so bad.
well, one thing I want to bring up, when you were here last time, you're like, I'd like to do this live, and everybody's like, yeah, let's do it live, and I was like, I don't know, because I was like, wait a minute, guys, I don't know if we can do this thing live, but I'm glad we did. I was even talking to Mike. I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go ahead and jump in, and I'm glad we're doing it, man. This is a good experience, but I thought that was kind of a trip on my end, because everybody's like, yeah, we're going to do this live, and I'm over here like, oh, God, I don't know. I don't know about this.
A lot of technical stuff.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Oh, man, no, it's been a learning experience.
Yeah.
Definitely been a learning experience, and so far so good. But, guys, let's talk a little bit about that trip you guys took out to Iowa. What did you experience? What was going on with that?
Well, first of all, everybody that's watching, we appreciate you watching. If you could, please push the share button. Make sure you give us a heart, thumbs up, subscribe on YouTube, all the fun stuff. Let's just kick it back here to Alex. That was his bucket list for the Villisca Axe Murder House. We'll just start from when we left home and what he experienced.
In the Axe Murder House, I know that was kind of, I was hyping that up. But, be honest with you, it was kind of a letdown.
Really?
We didn't really have that much stuff going on, and it seemed there was at one time I think I stayed in there. I don't know if it was a full 10 minutes, but I was in there by myself. The whole team went outside and went to the other building, and I just kind of sat in there, and that was a little bit freaky, just knowing the history of that place. But nothing really happened. Right. We all slept in that house, and I mean, there was a couple times that I'd woken up and it was like, I'm not going to look over there. I'm just going to, I'm just going to close my eyes and go back to sleep. But other than that, it was, I think it's overhyped.
Right.
But, sometimes you go into a place and there's no activity, and then you go into the same place again, there can be crawling with activity. Right. So we might have just had an off night that time, but it was, to me, it was kind of a letdown, but that's what we do. We go out and investigate and see if everybody's is hyping it up and try to prove them wrong, and I think we did.
And it worked this time.
we had plenty of conversations in our 23 hours or 26 hours?
Yeah, 20.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that's the best thing about that.
What now? What was that?
There was this like grill place.
Little diner.
Was it TJ's? What was it called?
Shout out to TJ's.
I think it was TJ's Diner.
There's some kind of.
It was on their main street.
We have we have a picture I think in front of it, but I had a cheeseburger with like a macaroni and cheese bite on it, and it was freaking amazing.
Worth the trip, man.
Absolutely,
it was. It was great.
We actually talked about going back by there on the way back just to stop and get another one.
Yeah.
Give me 10 to go. Give me 10 to go. But the thing is, it was on your bucket list, and it's definitely a very popular.
Oh yeah,
popular site. So
I know they had talked about was it Jack Osborne maybe getting a show, and
oh really?
Yep.
They were saying something about him coming back there, and they were doing some kind of they were gonna do something pretty big, but yeah. So
That's
I
pretty
mean,
cool.
we'll just have to wait. I don't know if they'll end up doing that or not, but we definitely heard some stories from the guy that actually runs the place, or I guess he kind of is like the key, like he holds the key or whatever.
The key master.
Yeah.
I was waiting on somebody to say that.
That was it.
He was telling us about some guy that, like, stabbed himself.
Oh man.
In the house, and we hadn't heard that one, but we heard so many stories, and I think after we had left that place, we were actually debating whether anybody was even ever murdered in the house.
It's like it's almost disappointing from your viewpoint. Anybody else would be like, I don't want to stay there. Somebody got killed, but from where you guys was like, nobody got killed here. Really?
It's weird because of the way that, like, all the stories. There's so many different stories, and the laws are not the laws, but the rules that they're making people follow, and they won't let them, look at the graves and stuff of all the kids that were murdered. And,
oh, really?
And they were trying to do DNA like testing and everything, and they were basically shutting them down on that.
It's still like the oldest murder unsolved in that state, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In that whole town, I think there was like one police officer or something. So it's just so weird how nothing added up.
Right.
So like there's all these like stories, but nobody actually, I mean, I know we can get kind of gruesome, but nobody ever actually has pictures of the bodies or anything.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, are they just trying to bring in tourists, or what are they doing here?
Right.
But I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have been there. I mean, I don't remember how many business cards and stuff we saw on the walls, and people having like so-called evidence on pictures and stuff, and that was interesting to look at. But I think we did end up. We got somebody, or we took a picture, and it looked like there was some little girl that was sitting upstairs.
Oh, really?
But I mean,
right.
it wasn't anything to me. It wasn't, This is definitely something paranormal, but it could have been a glare or something. But that's what we were there for, to investigate. So,
like I say, I think it's just cool to be able to put that, like you said, to check that off your bucket list. I think that's pretty cool, especially given what you guys do.
Yeah. I mean, it's top 5?
Yeah, easily. Yep.
It's most haunted, like one of the
but when
top 2 most haunted.
But when
houses.
you compare it to the Lizzie Borden house, which is well known, they have pictures of the murdered bodies on the sofas.
Right.
Here you didn't, and then you have some guy in Europe or in the UK that's wanting to come over and exhume these bodies and really test it and see what really happened.
Right.
And they're shutting it down. Right. And the only evidence that did happen was a photographer came in the building the day that it happened, the next morning, and when he walked outside, the brothers saw him taking photos and chased him down in the yard. They had an altercation. He took his camera and he stomped on the camera, and that was the only evidence of supposedly of this. Right. And when you look at how much we paid for the home, you multiply that by so many nights out of a year, and how much money we're talking in a small town like that has just one great restaurant. Yeah. Right. It does look suspicious.
I know that cheeseburger was pretty good. That was a $400 cheeseburger right there.
It was outstanding, but it's you have to look at it objectively, and that's what we're known for, is being objective about what we're doing. And to walk into something that hyped up, I just don't. I didn't feel it. I didn't see it.
That's probably the best night's sleep. One of them.
Yeah. You actually had a good night's sleep, and
we even had a nap before the investigation.
Yeah, we slept in it before we investigated it.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Once again, for anybody else, that's what you want. For you guys, it's like, damn, man, I slept all night. Nothing scary. It's like, come on.
But here's the thing: is we go to a place like that that's that important in the country, as far as that high ranked in the most haunted. And then we turn around, last weekend and go to a place like Rera's Irish Pub here in Charlotte. Right, and it's super active in the 45 minutes we were given to film, and we were able to capture so much evidence. And you go to a place like that, and you have stuff rolling all night long for 12, 13 hours, and you capture absolutely nothing.
Right.
I agree with Alex. It's based on timing. But come on. I mean, that's a little odd to us.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what turned me off against that house was when the guy, the keymaster, whenever he was giving us the initial tour, he showed us the spot in the wall above the bed where the axe supposedly hit, as he was striking the father for the first time, and it just seemed really, really fishy.
Kind of hokey.
It just didn't smell right.
And rehearsed.
I mean, that house was tiny compared. Like I didn't think about how small it was. It was absolutely tiny. And upstairs there was how many people upstairs? Like 5. There's 3 or 4 kids in that one room, 2 in that other.
Yeah, and then the parents.
For all of them nobody to wake up.
Right.
Yeah,
It may have been 800 square feet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people
In a,
in a little tight
But, I
area
mean,
for
you know.
everybody not to hear anything.
So, yeah, it does sound a little suspicious. Once again, like you guys were saying, I mean, that's one restaurant in town. That's probably where they make a majority of their monies from, that location. And you never know. I mean, you never know. Like, take our words for it, guys. It happened here, but you never know. But now you guys were talking about re-rolls. What was going on there? I know I've been seeing a lot of that on Facebook. What you said it was a lot of activity. Like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, Re-Roz is an Irish pub in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've been there once, and this time we were able to do it live. Carol and I did it live. Huh? It's on Tryon Street. Real quick, in that joke, you guys that are on Facebook Live right now, please be sure you stick around. We do have something we are dying to share with you guys that you'll want to see here in just a little bit. But it's ranked top 10 in North Carolina. Is one of the most haunted spots in North Carolina. It's owned by a great guy, and the first time we were there, we didn't really capture a whole lot. This last time we went, it's amazing. I encourage you, go on YouTube and watch that investigation that Alex and Jeremy did in the kitchen, and that's one of the most haunted areas in the restaurant and pub, and it's impressive. It's hard to explain, and then we also caught 2 EVPs upstairs.
Now, what is that?
Electronic voice phenomena. That's where we were able to pick up voices on a recorder that the human ear can't hear, and it was just, and like I said, we had to do that investigation we got started around 2:30 in the morning, and we had to be out by 4:15, and we only filmed for 45 minutes, and were able to capture all that along with the REM pod going off, which never goes off, and it was just a well-constructed investigation upstairs and downstairs, and it's an awesome place to investigate. It really is, and we really enjoy going down there and doing that spot. We really do.
Yeah, the staff was really good to us too.
They are. They treat us like royalty down there.
So let me ask you, does the staff, I mean, were they scared or anything? Did they ever say, hey,
They
we've
all
had these?
stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have stories of things that's happened to them, being everything from trying to be pushed downstairs.
Really?
There's a lot of physical things. We also were sent, I can only say so much about this, but we were sent 4 videos. They have a lot of cameras in this place, and they sent us 4 videos of things unexplainably moving, falling, being pushed, being thrown, and right around employees in the middle of the daytime while they're working, and these phenomenons are happening around them in the kitchen. And I would say that Alex and Jeremy did a great job of showing that on YouTube in that footage, and we're putting out the evidence to that Monday on YouTube. And yeah, some folks have already actually seen that. All of our patrons, they'll be seeing that on Saturday.
Right.
They get all the footage 2 days ahead of time, and it's just a great place to be. Place to be.
Yeah, we had some the REM pod actually went off like 2 or 3 times, I think, and that was definitely one of the highlights of the night. So I think you'll get to see that in that video, right, Ryan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Guys, every time you've come into the podcast here, and I hear these stories, I hear how you guys get like so excited about when these things happen. It just still blows my mind, because I'm like such the opposite of that. If I was in a place and I saw that, I'm never going back. I'm never going to Re-Roz. I went one time like 20 years ago. I'm never going back.
But I'm telling you, it's a great place. There's tons of history, great food. I think Carol, if you want to talk about that, about the wood in the place, what it's made of, and the fires and all.
Yeah, most of the wood. Well, actually, all the wood there is.
Yeah, there you
most
go.
of all the wood there is from Ireland. But when the place burnt down, I think it's burnt twice.
Yeah.
All the wood has sent back to Ireland, refinished, redone. So there's no telling how many hands that has already touched that wood.
Right.
So as they put that back, they say that something's belonging to that wood.
Is in there. Well, let me ask you guys: is there any theories about why the fires happened? Is that any paranormal
one with a
speculation?
lightning
One was
strike.
a lightning strike.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal in itself.
Yeah. No, that's pretty crazy. Well, I was going to ask you guys something else. I know, kind of going back to your trip.
Yep.
Now, didn't you guys also stop at the hotel?
Yeah.
Where
So-
the Shining?
Yeah, we left Villisca, Iowa, and drove 9 hours to the Stanley Hotel in gorgeous Estes, Colorado. It was absolutely gorgeous up there.
Picturesque.
It is picturesque. It's unreal, the scenery that surrounds that hotel. You know, once again, we're here to be honest. We've always been honest. We've always been upfront. I will be honest with you about this. No matter who hears this, I'll stand by this. That was, and I've traveled the country, and that was the most rudest hotel staff I have
Really?
ever encountered in my life.
Are you serious?
I would never
Hands
pay to
down
go
the
back.
worst.
Really?
It was bad.
$500+ a night.
Yeah,
And treat you like they're doing you a favor.
Good Lord, man.
over $500 a night for a room, and they treat you like that. It was unreal.
That's pretty rough.
It was unreal, and a place that
And it wasn't just one time. It was like
every
constant,
every
time
person.
you had
That
to talk
was-
to somebody.
it's like they were irritated. They had to deal with the public. It was unreal, and it turned all of us off to ever go back.
Really?
And if I ever went back, I wouldn't stay.
Good Lord. That's mind blowing to spend that kind of money, especially at a place like that, which is a
Yeah.
tourist attraction. I mean, you're going to attract
Yeah.
fans of the movie, paranormal,
Yep.
investigators.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with, though, there was so much traffic there that weren't guests, that weren't staying at the hotel.
Right.
That they're having to deal with the public, and and I don't think they can distinguish between.
It was
guests
it was a
and-
tourist attraction.
I got you.
Yeah.
So some people are paying versus the non-payer. They're probably just
Yeah, just because you're not paying to stay there doesn't mean you can't come in. So you had walks of life just walking everywhere.
Just
Gotcha.
in and out constantly. And so the first night we stayed in Stephen King's room, and we had traveled so much, and we were so tired. We were unfortunately unable to go live
Yeah.
that night. But let's get into the grit of the story
Yeah.
here, which would be the bathroom of Stephen King's room.
On this
Dun,
long
dun,
trip,
dun,
that's the one thing everybody was talking about and wanting was a shower.
Yep.
so basically what I'm getting from this, you guys had hamburgers and showers.
Yeah.
Hamburger showers.
We hadn't had a shower for like what, 2 days?
We left on
Exactly.
Tuesday.
So what it was is we left Tuesday after work. right?
Yeah.
So everybody, we left. We drove literally all night.
All
We show
through
up the
night.
next morning in Villisca, Iowa, right, on Wednesday morning. We had the house reserved Wednesday night. No
Yeah.
running water in this house.
Are you
right?
serious?
They only
No.
they were the house wasn't hooked up to electrical, but they had piped.
Y'all thought I was kidding about that van,
extension
didn't you?
cords. So here it is, Wednesday night. We were investigating. We're staying at the Axe Murder House, and
They
then,
did have one
then
bathroom.
We had to turn around, and we leave Thursday morning, and we drive 9 hours, right? So you can imagine from Tuesday afternoon till Thursday morning, we haven't had a shower.
Getting a little.
You could see the
At
stink.
this point,
Getting a little
we
funky.
have drove 24 hours, right? We've investigated, and we're at our second destination, and everybody was ready to get in the shower, right?
we were,
And everybody was ready for everybody else.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we were all
Mind
sort of
you.
planning it before we ever even got in there on who was, we were going to do shifts, and we were going to.
This is the Stanley Hotel, right?
The Stephen King
$500.
suite.
So we're thinking, man, they're probably going to have, like
Gold tub.
faucets coming out of every angle.
It's going to be great.
Draw the picture.
Oh yeah.
Draw the picture for them.
Yeah, do it.
What? Let's
I
start.
don't-
Let's start
I
with.
don't- I don't know that I could, right? So we get checked in.
Hang up telephone. Use that as an
Yes.
example.
They still had the tub from The Shining.
Yeah.
It was like
When I say the shower, there was no shower.
There was no
It
there
shower.
was no
It was a
shower.
standalone, and it
It was
wasn't
a-
even a clawback. I mean, just imagine a half of a
Yeah,
a tub, right? And then the spigot was yeah, like you're holding the spigot, and like I don't know how to explain it. Like it wasn't actually.
It's like one of those.
The dial tone, the dialing telephones. You have to use your finger, and you pick up. The receiver looked like that.
Oh my
That's
God.
Yeah.
yeah. You had to hold it.
But the cable, or the hose that connected it to the actual water pipe couldn't have been maybe
Kinda like-
12
yeah.
inches long. Like you couldn't even
Like
get
in
it
a
up to your
kitchen
hand.
sink or something.
it
Like
was,
in a kitchen sink.
it was definitely made to only like take a bath in.
Yes.
And mind you, all of the guys are like 6 foot.
Yeah,
Except for Ryan.
big guys.
So here's what
Ryan was
happened.
like, this is cool.
Yeah, so here's what happened was
I've never-
I believe Carol went first, and everyone
No,
come
I went
out.
first.
Everyone come out telling a different position and style of how they took a shower. shower.
I think you forgot I went in there and flooded it because the curtain only went around like 1/4 of the tub.
So yeah.
Hollywood Gaddy over here takes like a 3-hour long.
So Gaddy comes out of the bathroom. He has on
had to do
clothes.
Twister in that tub,
his hair
okay?
is wet, and he said, "Guys, number one, I flooded the bathroom. Number two, the shower curtain does not come all the way around. That's why I flooded the bathroom." And there were still 4 of us left to get a shower.
So I've got bad news and bad news.
You sort of, it was
Towels in the room, Alex. You
Oh, and we're out of towels.
I had to use your.
Here's your washcloth, Ryan. Yeah.
It was sort of like a camper type thing where you camping out where you shower off and then you stop the water and suds up and then you start the
A
water
submarine,
again.
submarine shower.
I'm just getting the picture in my mind of the Old West, and you have to throw your own water out. 5 cents for a bath, you know.
This tub was huge.
That bathroom has not
you
been
had-
touched
You had
since
you
ever.
had to climb in the thing. That's how big this tub was,
Right,
and then you have this little bitty faucet, the shower thing.
I remember getting in there and holding that over my head because I'm short enough. Before the rest of y'all even say it.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, this is great. You know, this feels so good. And then I grabbed the Axe bottle and I popped the lid up and I thought, now how am I? Wait a minute, this hand is taken. How am I going to do this? And people come out of the bathroom. Hey, I sat down. It worked pretty good for me. Or hey, I was hanging out halfway out of it. Hey, I flooded the bathroom. There were so many stories with this bathroom.
But
it was unreal.
It had never been remodeled. Like it's like that whole room. They never touched it when Stephen King left.
When we left that room and went to our second
They
room,
might after we left.
everybody checked if the other room had a shower. First thing.
That first shower was amazing.
And
It was
Worth it, made the whole trip.
And then on top of that, so when we're staying in Stephen King's room, it was every 30 minutes that a tour of 20 plus people would come by the door and they would talk. So this is every 20 minutes of the day. So we would come out of our room with 20 people staring at us.
Right
Like,
there.
who are they? And we're walking through them. Hey guys, First and Fright Paranormal, be sure you follow and subscribe. You know, we're like advertising.
Well, yeah.
But
We
He's
took
working
pictures with people that were staying there. It was a couple like a
group of guys. Yeah, like 15 of them.
Wait a minute, aren't you Facebook Ryan Burleson?
Facebook Live. Ryan Burleson.
They changed the name of the room after you guys left.
Yeah. The funny part about that room was it blows my mind at the stature of folks that stayed there. Johnny Depp has stayed there. The unsinkable Molly Brown from the Titanic stayed in that room. All of these movie stars and famous folks have stayed in that room. I guess they didn't take a shower. I don't know, because that would have ruined the experience for them too, like it did us. But
And they've never been back.
Well, you caught that footage when you first got there, right? It was a beautiful shot of like the deer.
yeah, that was unreal. That was beautiful, and that's what they're known
That
for
was a
is
spectacle.
yeah. The wildlife is so rampant
So
in Colorado.
majestic.
They're everywhere. Yeah, it's majestic.
I almost touched this bunny rabbit that was like
Yeah.
on the sidewalk. I was like, oh my gosh.
But that night,
It was like a scene from Bambi out there.
Birds landing on your shoulder.
yeah.
It was right after the sun
Talking
come
to
up.
him and everything.
That's not very scary,
This is gonna be a
guys.
happy place.
But in the roaming of this building and the secondary building where they have, I believe it was a type of condos that you could buy to stay there on property. There were 2 experiences that had happened. One, I believe Carol saw a shadow, right? Carol saw a shadow, and then Alex and I in the secondary building saw a shadow the next night, and we stopped and tried to explain it on how it happened, and we were unable to explain it. So as far as paranormal goes, that's the only thing really that happened. And then we did a Facebook Live from room 428, which is notorious for a ghost cowboy that stands by the foot of the bed. And we did a Facebook Live there, and in all honesty,
We kept losing signal.
I'll tell you this: when we opened the door to this hotel room, you've never seen 7 or 8 people run to the bathroom to check the shower. It was seriously, we all did. Everybody ran to the bathroom to see if there was an actual shower head, and there was.
Yeah. It was hot too while we were up there. It was warmer there than
we
it was
slept with the
here.
windows
Really?
open,
Yeah, we had the
We
windows
were
open.
on the corner.
It was so hot in that room.
So we're in Colorado and we opened the windows.
Yeah, you would think it'd be cooler out there.
We
yeah.
were on the corner room, so the windows were open at night and the wind was coming through. So I mean, that second night, if you went in there already scared and expecting to be freaked out, we had the wind whistling through there. The pipes were knocking.
The pipes were knocking.
Something terrible at night.
We caught footsteps above us in the attic while we were live. That was pretty cool.
That's
And-
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So every time the wind would gust through there, the doorway to the hallway would shake.
Right.
So I mean, if you're expecting that to be ghost, then you know that.
You'll experience
Yeah,
it.
you would be scared to death in that
Right.
room. But us, I woke up several times and I'd like look at the foot of the bed and I look around, everybody's sound asleep. And I'm like, all right, let's go back.
You guys are vets. I mean, like if I was in there, as soon as I heard a pipe knocking, I'm like, I'm gone. I'll see y'all. You know, I don't play the ghost thing. You know, I know we've talked about that, but for you guys, you know, being investigators, all right, man, is that all you got?
Well, it was hard to investigate in that second room just because of all the tours. I mean, they give tours, it seemed like every 30 minutes or 15 minutes through there, and they take you like right outside of your door, and then somebody's telling them all about that room and all this stuff, and then the group's standing there, and then they would start to walk off, and then I'd start shaking the door, and then they'd all look back like, what was that? Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He was watching them through the little peephole in the door and he'd shake the door.
And room 428 was one of the top 2 or 3 most haunted rooms. And
Alex was awesome.
They ought to hire you up there. Man.
Yeah.
but I don't mean
Scariest thing
to.
there was the service, though.
Yeah. I don't mean to shorten the whole trip, but literally we drove 20, 23, 25 hours all the way back home, 2 sunrises. It was insane.
We picked up
Oh,
followers
don't
along
forget
the
about
way
the cattle
with the
truck.
van.
Cattle truck.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget
We
the-
got so many stories about that van, man.
there
It's not
is.
even
There is.
We'll be here all night if we tell everything.
Let's tell them. I want to hear about the cattle truck.
Oh,
Yeah, we're here.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
So the van was covered in bovine urine.
Okay, we kept seeing stuff splatter hitting the windshield. I'm like, is it raining? What is that smell?
it was bad.
It smelled so bad.
There was a cow truck.
It
in
was
front
worse
of
than
us
the van.
that every time they would poop or pee, it would
All on the van.
Oh, and he's smearing it with the
Yeah,
windshield.
it was
and
great.
there was no way to go around this truck.
Oh.
So for miles and miles of flat country, we're driving. behind this
We're all in there
truck.
gagging.
It was like vacation.
that shower sounded even better, about right.
We hadn't even had a shower by then.
Oh,
All right,
wonderful.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the real terror was the actual drive. Yeah, the
It
trip
was. It
itself.
really was.
It was a trip of a lifetime.
It was a
though.
deer dodger.
I'll be honest, it sounds fun, guys.
It was.
It sounds like you guys really had a blast doing it.
Yeah,
Over the
it definitely
years,
was.
Ryan.
But yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't mean to cut that whole story short, but it's all about where we're going next.
Right.
That's what it's all about. This is, to me, this is equivalent to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. It is as serious as that. This is no hype. All you got to do is go there and experience it. This will be my 3rd time there. It would be Andy's 2nd time there. And you guys heard the stories on the previous podcast, the things we experienced there.
Yeah.
And for everybody watching, this is our teaser that is called Number 5.
Because I know you have been pushing this out, you know, being a little, what's the word I'm looking for?
Vague.
Vague. Vague's the word, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and play that right now. We'll go ahead and get that,
Absolutely.
that teaser going on.
We hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, Puds out there, you just saw the
Yay.
first teaser. Let's talk about that, Ron.
Yeah,
Something about that.
Yeah,
Awesome teaser.
The teaser. We really hope you guys enjoyed that teaser. We'll be making that public after this podcast. But Waverly Hills Sanatorium, it's honestly in the paranormal books, it's up there. It's number 2 or number 3 in the country compared to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. There is a large difference, and we discussed that on one of the other podcasts. Was you go to Trans-Allegheny to hear things and to capture EVPs. You go to Waverly Hills to see things. And this is, I guarantee for everyone in this group, no question, no doubt, they will see plenty of shadow people that will peek outside of doors and look down the hallway at you or run across the hall. There's no question, I guarantee it. Every time I've been there, it's not been a question that we would experience it. And I don't expect it to be any different this time, especially in the middle of renovations. I understand they're turning that massive place into a bed and breakfast, which it will be phenomenal. It's in a place that you just don't expect it to be. You actually drive through a golf course to get to it on the top of a mountain. And it is very secluded. It's very secure. And we have rented the place out for just First and Fright Paranormal to have it for 8 hours overnight. We'll stay in the building all night long. And the only way you can leave this property, the only way they'll unlock the gate for you is to call an ambulance. That's it. That's not a joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they will also take you out on the open air balconies there you see on the screen on the 3rd floor during your first hour tour before they turn you loose. And they will tell you the gate will not be unlocked unless we call an ambulance because of someone's personal or horrific injury. Or secondly, take a listen and she stops talking and you listen and all you hear is pretty much coyotes out in the woods. She said that's your secondary way off this property. Good luck. It's not a joke.
Wow, guys.
The place is not a joke. I think it's going to be epic.
Yeah, that's going to be next level right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge. I mean, within 8 hours, what do you hope to accomplish in 8 hours? And really, how much area do you hope to cover in 8 hours?
We definitely are going to cover everything in that 8 hours. We're going to cover every floor. The top floor there, the photograph you see on the screen right now, on the left side of that tower in the middle, on the left side is where they kept insane patients, and on the right side they kept children for the nursery, and that is an open air area where they could mingle, and it was very threatening to the children. Believe it or not, it wasn't safe at all. 63 or 64,000 people died in this building of tuberculosis. You saw in that teaser, a very quick snapshot of the death chute or death tunnel. There's so many videos out there about this thing, and that's where Andy and I had a really crazy experience in that tunnel. It's 500 feet deep. There are steps on one side, there's a ramp on the other, and it's pitch blackness. You put your arms out, you can touch each wall. You put your hands straight up in the air, you can touch the ceiling, and it's a foot thick of concrete. And they decided to change that tunnel into a death chute because there was a hearse driving up to the front of the building every hour of every day picking up a dead body, and all the patients would witness this thinking, I'm going to die, I'll never get out of here because of TB. So they sent all the hearses around the back way, and they would take all the bodies down the death tunnel, and that is where it is. It's pretty haunted there, and most of the floors you literally can stand there, and moonlight will shine across. You saw a photo of that also, where moonlight will shine through each doorway, and you can stand there as plain as day and watch heads pop out and look at you down the hallway, and
I can't wait.
I'll be honest with you. At times, it can be a very terrifying place, but for folks like us, it's a place we want to be at. It's something we want to experience. And also, Waverly Hills is notorious, just like everyone else has their own special paranormal whatever. Waverly Hills is notorious for what's called the blob. The blob is a type of sphere mass that can not really engulf you, but it can overcome you and put you in the center of this blob to where when you're talking, the people outside the blob can't hear you, and when they're talking, you can't hear them. And you're still very well aware and very conscious, but it's an effect that this thing can cause on you. Both times I've been there, I've not seen it, I've not experienced it, but a lot of people have experienced that effect. So, hopefully we're just able to capture some really good evidence. We have been discussing, I'm not going to say we're going to go through with it, but we've been looking at drones because this is a perfect place to fly a drone, because this drone is, you can fly it out front with a thermal camera, and a lot of folks have caught a thermal image of someone running down one of these open air hallways on one of these floors. It's just amazing, and that's something like we want to try to capture. And I'm gonna let Jeremy kind of phrase what we kind of are thinking, wanting to do there while we're there.
So yeah, no, we want to go live, but we can't promise there's going to be signal there. All right. So, if at all possible, we're going to, on some platform, one way or another, we will go live as long as there's signal.
Right. Well, I know I'll definitely be watching that, and that just sounds terrifying. Honestly, I mean that's just what you guys were saying. I'm over here. It actually gave me chills just hearing all that, because I've never heard that story. I didn't know about this place. It's the first time I'm ever hearing that stuff. And just as far as all the deaths that occurred and everything else, guys, good luck to you. I mean, you know,
I can't wait for the pictures.
yeah, I can't wait for the pictures, the videos, the whole 9 yards. That's going to be something, I think, like I said, next level.
Yeah, this is one of the most intense places in America. Like I said, right there with Trans-Allegheny, and it never fails. This place has never failed. I believe everyone is going.
Yes.
It's going to be the full house there.
Yeah, everyone's going, and there's definitely more of us that has never been than has been. Right. So it'll be a brand new experience.
So now, who are the new ones? Who has not been yet?
I haven't been. Alex hasn't been.
I haven't been.
Alex, Dawn, Jeremy, Carol, Candy. None of those folks have been. Only Andy and I have been here.
Wow. So good luck, guys. That's all I can say is best of luck to you, and God bless you for doing it, because I know somebody's got to do it. I'll tell you who's not going to do it.
On behalf of the podcast, Jason Finger would like to go.
I think we invited you last time.
Yes,
Jason.
you did, and I was like, absolutely not.
No, and you can stay here in your local town too.
No way. No. I will.
How far to run home?
I will absolutely be watching you on Facebook from the comfort of my home.
And we want to encourage everybody on Facebook right now that when we release that teaser, please share it. Please put it out there, push it out, help us out with that, and be sure you like it and share it.
So, and I was also going to say for anybody out there listening, if you have any questions that you would like to ask the First and Fright team, I mean, now's your chance. You know.
We got one that just popped up. Beth Cornwall Engel asked, why were there so many children there at Waverly?
I think because, if I recall, it's mainly because the parents were diagnosed with TB.
I see.
And so they were put in the same environment as patients, and it's just horrible. All the stories that come out of that place is absolutely horrible. And
you said it was like kind of like a nursery.
Yes,
as well.
Yes. But it's
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's an open air thing, and one of the most haunted places that they claim is in the building is, I can't remember the exact number, but it's 501 or 502 where a nurse hung herself. It's up on that top floor, and their staff will bring their own equipment, some really high-tech equipment up there, and they will investigate there in that spot, and you can join them or walk away, and they'll show you how haunted the area is, and it's really impressive to watch.
They also had pictures where we waited of snowfall on these people outside. There was snowing on them.
Yeah, so if you can imagine the patients, if you can imagine, the initial cure for tuberculosis was fresh air. And you go and you tie it back in with the Stanley Hotel. The Stanley Hotel, F.O. Stanley had TB. That's what caused him to build the hotel on top of that mountain in Fresh Air, Colorado.
I see. Okay.
So here there are pictures online. If you get on Google and just type in tuberculosis patients at Waverly and look at images, you'll see lines of gurney beds with people in sunshine, and then there's other photographs where there's snow piled on top of them, sitting out, laying outside, just helpless as can be.
Yeah.
It's just as, to me, it's just as I can't even think of the right word.
Beautiful, man.
It's as inhumane as Tala, where they put them in cages and they test surgeries and all kinds of things on these people. Lobotomies.
They're basically experiments.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you always hear when there is paranormal activity, usually there is that sort of violent, inhumane behavior or, treatment, I should say, from the people who's passed on, man. In other words, there's always that kind of violent death there. You always hear about that, and that pretty much would definitely cover that, what those people went through. like I said, I think you guys are absolutely fearless in what you do. I think you're definitely braver than I am. Once again, I've always said I'm a little skeptical. I've actually become less of a skeptic the more I talk to you guys. And because the first time First and Fright was on this podcast, I was like, goes on there. Now I'm like, hey, maybe there's something to this thing. And it's all from you guys actually trying to disprove more than actually prove it. And I really respect that. And I thought that was really, something that sets you guys apart.
And I still think it's fair to say we're all still in that category. I still think we're all extreme skeptics. And that's why we continue to pay this amount of money to go to these places and do this. But this is number 5. We're at 4 out of 5 right now of the most haunted places in America, and this is number 5 for us to go to as a team and to experience as a team. And what comes after that is still unknown, but this will finish off the top 5 in America.
Well, like I said, guys, it's unreal. And I'll tell you, since we do have a couple new people in here, like I say, Jeremy and Andy, both you guys first time here, I'd like to kind of hear from you guys what your, I guess, most intense experience or most memorable experiences has been, because I know I've heard from everyone else. I'd definitely like to hear from you guys as well.
Well, Jeremy and I had a neat experience at the Liska Axe Murder House. We investigated the 2nd floor together, and it was an emotional investigation, and we didn't catch anything or anything, nothing happened, but it was intense, and it's also on YouTube if you want to check it out. And at Waverly, like Ryan said, you'd be standing and the ambient light would come through and you see feet and heads poking out like they're just curious.
Yeah, watching you.
I'm not kidding.
No, that's no. I'm done. I'm done. Done.
And the death chute, they told us a story that nurses and doctors, there's steps on one side and there's just flat ramp on the other side.
Right.
And they told us that as people were coming to work up the steps, there'd be dead bodies sliding down.
Oh my God!
And it was just unreal.
Couldn't even imagine that kind of scene.
We stood right there in the middle of that.
Where
I could not see my hand in front of my face.
Once again, you guys are fearless.
I could hear water drop, dripping, and you can hear. And then we had an experience at the top of the steps. I've told these guys before, and I think I've shared that before. But yeah, that's my experiences.
That's unreal. Jeremy, how about yourself?
All right, so I guess probably the most convincing thing that's ever happened to me was I literally saw a fork move.
That, yes.
A foot.
Yeah.
Right? With no one around it, no one touching it. All right? And you can see it on TV all you want to, but when you're standing beside a table, all right, and you know that there's nothing there, all right, and you see the way that this plate that's on the table, like most plates, they're concave.
Right.
And this fork is literally leaning inward, on the rim of this plate, and it gets pushed towards you, right? And there's no one around you. I mean, that's the most powerful experience I've ever had.
I saw that video. I remember first time I saw that, I'm like, well, I'm not going to say what I said. Not next week on the PUDcast we'll probably say it. This week I'm on
version.
Yes, we're a little bit more uncensored, but
well, I know a lot of the hardcore fans, they've seen the video. For anybody that's new now, where was that occurrence?
That was at the Lincoln Country Club.
Right here in town.
Yep.
Right here in Lincoln.
Yeah.
The most, I guess, profound physical experience was just right here at the country club.
A few miles more at.
Yeah, just basically right down the road to a degree. Yeah. No, like I said, when I first saw that footage, I was like, "Holy, yeah."
Oh yeah.
And that happened where? That happened here? No.
Yeah.
Really, the first thing I did when that happened was I made a beeline for the command center, what we call the command center, where the cameras are set up to make sure that we got that on tape.
Yeah.
And there's a video out there of me narrating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually whenever I hear somebody say "wow" now, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
I always hear Jeremy.
Well, speaking of equipment, anything new equipment wise, as far as
We ended up buying 2 thermal imaging cameras, I think since the last time we were here. And right now, more or less, we're looking to, number one, I would say the drone is fresh on the mind.
Yeah,
that's something. I mean, because we want to better these teasers and trailers and videos with some air footage.
Right,
That would be number one. And then also to scour the area that we're going to be investigating, whether it's indoor or outdoor, with an aerial view and property view. And then I would say just to double up on our equipment, get another REM pod, get a secondary of everything. Right. That's going to lead me into kind of the next subject. Is right now we have two investigations that involve the general public for April 3rd and May 22nd. April 3rd is now sold out. That's to come join us at the Cultural Center. And guys, if you've not gone on YouTube and watched episodes 1 through 7, especially episode 7, of how crazy that was with all the experiences we had that night. It's a place you should come and test and check out for yourself.
And I just want to make the point too that we sold that first one out to just top fans. Am I correct?
Almost, yeah, almost.
Right. So and that's some of the things that we like to do. Some of the things that we're trying to show our appreciation back to all the people that support us and that spend the time or or patrons on the new site that we just joined, and hopefully we can continue to do those things for the people that are out there supporting us.
Right. That's one thing I really love about you guys. It's like you do give back to the community. I mean, it is community first, and I know we talked about that last time you were here, and I think that's another one of the things that really sets you apart from every other team. It's very community oriented.
Yep.
And man, you can't beat that. And I know the Cultural Center, I had a friend of mine, I personally didn't get to make it, but a friend of mine went, had a blast, and would highly recommend this to anybody out there listening. If you get a chance to go to this thing, you need to go check this out.
This is going to be a completely different format than the last one. Right. This is going to be, free reign of the entire building, and there's going to be a much smaller group. A
little bit more intimate, kind of more
absolutely.
intimate.
Yeah, I think there's only 13 tickets left to join us, and you have an option of a 3-hour investigation, which from 8 to 11, or a 6-hour investigation from 8 to 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow, okay.
But if you want to see what you're in for, and you want to experience a more intimate environment with the team, then guys, go to our Facebook page, or right after this, or right now, go over to our Facebook page, scroll down in our timeline, and look for the link to Patreon, and hop on there and become a Frontline Fright holder, and you'll be in that private group. You'll ask for an invite, we'll get you involved, and tonight you'll be able to go with us Facebook Live privately throughout the Cultural Center, because tonight we're spending the night in the Cultural Center. We're going to go ahead and knock that down while we're here in town.
That's cool, yeah.
And it'll be a good time. But there's only 13 tickets left. Once again, it's in our timeline also. You can go check that out on our timeline to buy those tickets, or at least message us, and we'll be able to go from there and help you out getting tickets.
We'll be locked in, by the way.
Yeah, we will be locked in, and we want to thank Kathy, the director of the Cultural Center. She pretty much has given us, permission to go to this building 365 days a year whenever we want to investigate, and that's why we're there so much, because it's active. We capture evidence, and we get to go there, and she gets to join us at any time she wants to, and it's just a great time. We just enjoy the building. It has a vibe about it that's just a completely different vibe than anywhere else in the country. I know that's hard to say or hard to believe about little old Lincoln, but
hey, man,
we've caught more evidence in Lincoln than anywhere else, obviously.
I feel like that's the ghost meeting spot, the meeting town. You know what I mean?
So they're in Lincoln.
It's like the spot in town that everybody goes to, the ghost.
Yeah.
Hey, let's stop here at the Cultural Center.
And they embrace it, though.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so awesome, is that the folks embrace the Cultural Center because of that fun fact.
Right. It's like Lincoln's known for apples, city lunch, and ghost.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. It's a pretty cool town to be in, Maybe the PUDcast one day.
Hey, maybe.
Well, Ryan, let me ask, bro. I know you guys got to start heading that way. I like just go around the room and just any final thoughts, anything you guys would like to say as far as moving forward, what you expect, just whatever, man. You got full reign here.
First and foremost, we want to thank everyone that's involved with First and Fright Paranormal, whether it's free or it costs you a couple bucks, whether you buy a ticket, if you come out to a Comic-Con event, doesn't matter what it is. If you watch our lives, if you push share, if you push like, if you watch our lives for 3 seconds and cut it off, whatever the case may be, we appreciate you. You guys drive us. We've done this now. Next month will be our 2-year anniversary.
Wow,
We've done this for 2 years now, and we've covered, I would say, almost, if not over 50 locations in 2 years, and that's phenomenal. We didn't expect all this. We didn't expect any of this. We expected to go out and enjoy a hobby, and it's kind of turned into something more, which was now it's turned into giving back to a community and getting to know a lot of people we wouldn't have known prior to this. But the easiest and best way you can show your support, aside from money, is subscribing to us on YouTube, liking a post, sharing a post, or going to Patreon, becoming a patron. Watching our live events, coming out to events, getting to know us, getting to experience your own paranormal investigation without taking our word for it. We're not here to convince you of anything. We're actually offering you to come out to experience it yourself. So we just want to thank everybody. The city of Lincoln has been phenomenal to us, and we consider the place home, although only one of us out of the 6 of us live here. But we consider it home, and you guys help propel and drive us more and more each and every day. So I just want to thank you for that.
I want to thank Ryan for all the time that he puts in. I know the team appreciates it, and it's pretty much a second job for Ryan at this point, doing all that editing and coordinating and just hooking us up with all the different places to investigate. So I want to give Ryan a shout out because he puts in a lot of work to this team.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Amen.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate you.
All right. And you got anything you'd like to add, bro?
Yeah, I love my team. I love them. And,
Get a tattoo.
well, thank you guys.
We should all get matching tattoos. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go tonight.
Carol just give me a
Appreciate
look.
you,
She was like,
no,
let's
man.
go.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, man, we appreciate
Hey,
you guys
thank y'all.
coming
By the
on.
way,
absolutely.
the wrestling thing is fun to watch.
That was awesome.
I watched it last the other night. And
Yeah,
it
it was
was a lot of
awesome.
fun.
Well, thank you.
Who's wrestling?
Wrestling? What?
Who's wrestling?
It's wrestling.
Well, we appreciate you guys definitely coming on here. Definitely.
absolutely.
Thank you.
So, Carol, you got anything you'd like to?
No, I just like to say I appreciate each and every one of you guys and girls. I enjoy each one of these hunts that we get to go on and experience, and look forward to many more. And I would just like to thank all the people that tune in, that you like our page, share it, subscribe. We appreciate it. We're not trying to be movie stars or anything. We're just trying to do something that we love, that we take as a hobby, but we take it seriously.
Right.
And yeah, so thanks. And thank you guys for having
Hey.
us again for the second or third time now.
Oh, this is
We appreciate it.
definitely not, and not the last.
Definitely not.
Can absolutely guarantee that. Jeremy, anything you'd like to add?
Real quick before he goes, I don't mean to butt in, but all the photographs you're seeing right now on that screen is kudos to Melanie Dawn Adams.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you, we wouldn't look anywhere near rock stars, which we don't, but her photography can help make us look that way sometimes, and we want to thank her for all the hard work she puts into the photography of this team.
Absolutely. She's helped tell our story.
Thank
our
y'all.
pics.
She actually took a picture of me and Mike once, and we actually kind of looked good in that. So, brother,
That wasn't too bad.
yeah, that's
Not at all.
talk about talent,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
man.
need to see that.
You gotta take her word. It's not like the Axe Murder House.
Yeah.
Take her word for it.
I went to school for that. Remember?
Yeah, yes, you did, and you did a great job.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, just these guys have said it all. I mean, you can only say thank you so much, and we truly appreciate you guys, and I won't keep beating a dead horse, but just come out here and get to know us. I mean, we love meeting new people, right? We interact with a lot of folks on Facebook. We talk to a lot of people, through a bunch of different avenues, and I enjoy meeting people, face to face, and we've made tons and tons of connections doing this, and that's really what I enjoy.
Don, anything you'd like to end us with?
It's been a crazy 2 years.
And y'all are still here. You've made it. You've still made it.
I think I don't know that every one of these guys are awesome. Once they get together, the team, everyone works off of each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's, the team works phenomenal together, and I appreciate them letting me come along and do what I love to do too, and sit in the background and take embarrassing pictures on occasions, and but I don't share those. I just give them to Ryan. So if you see them, it's his fault.
Hey, maybe that should be something on the Patreon. Just saying, some of the embarrassing pictures.
It already is. We actually shared
okay.
a very embarrassing one today on Patreon of Alex and Andy and myself. We still don't know what happened in that photograph. And then there's one on the private group also of me being in the back car of a child seat.
Okay.
So yeah, we're embarrassing ourselves for those photos.
That's just his everyday seat. So.
It is, right?
Yeah. So no, I just appreciate every one of them. So
His little legs.
I've had a blast. Never mind.
We're always gonna have an experience.
And for everybody that can't see that, Alex was sitting in the background, just waving his feet in the air.
Like Ryan's doing right now.
Yeah. You may not experience anything paranormal with us, but I assure you will not leave without laughing. There's no way around it with us.
You will have
impossible.
fun.
No, that's one thing you can definitely tell with you guys. It's getting you guys all in the room at one time, and this has been a blast. There's a certain energy here. There really is.
Yeah.
And you can't learn that. You can't teach that. You can't manufacture that. That just happens, man. I mean, that's natural.
I also want to throw it out there to be sure you follow us on Instagram. That's something that Dawn recently has fired back up for us, and it's been extremely successful just in the past few days. She's been posting a lot of her photography of us on there. I encourage you to hop over there and follow us. Who knows, we'll follow you back. As far as I'm concerned, we should. So definitely check that out. I think we're on 4 or 5 social media platforms right now, which is its own job in itself to keep up with.
Oh, yeah. I think we're on Instagram, Mike. I think.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll definitely follow y'all back.
I'm pretty sure. I think we're on there. I'll have to
Okay.
check. I don't know. I think we did Twitter once. I think. I don't know. Once. Just once.
We don't do
Shame
Twitter.
on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
I know. I'm still feeling the regret off that one.
I got a funny story about the Twitter real quick. So when we first set up all the accounts, we wanted to go ahead and get our names on like all the social media platforms. Well, we let Ryan set up the Twitter account, and it asks for the age and
The birth date.
yeah, the birth date. So he's like, well, we just started like 3 months ago. So he puts like I don't know,
February 25th of 2018.
yeah. So it's like just like 3 months old, and it instantly bans us because we're not old enough to be on Twitter. And now First and Fright Paranormal is no longer available because it's banned for age restriction. So
Well, in 17 and more years.
I can't wait. We're gonna activate that bad boy. Bring it out of the archive.
Catch it back up.
Unless they raise the Twitter age.
Twitter ain't 21.
Yeah, 21.
You might as well about 21.
We were like a year old. And they were like, you cannot join us being a year old. I'm like, oh, crap.
First tweet will be like, it feels good to be out of Twitter jail.
Going to buy beer.
Yeah.
Well, guys, once again, we cannot thank you guys enough. We also can't thank the people out there watching enough. I mean, like I said, this is the first time for us doing anything live. And, I expressed it to you earlier, Ryan. I was nervous, kind of getting everything together. I know me and Mike have been talking about it, and, it's been an experience, and it's been fun.
We didn't talk about anything.
We didn't. We don't. No. I think I wrote a note.
Yeah, he just. Hey, this is what we're doing.
But thank you guys.
Okay.
It ran seamless to be the first one. It went outstanding.
Yeah.
I think everything that's going on, all the photographs, the running the trailer, or the teaser, it's outstanding. And that teaser will be live here shortly on YouTube.
And who knows, we may actually get a camera in here one day, Mike. But I don't know. If people start looking at us, they might be like, oh, no, we're going to. Yeah, we'll have to keep it on you guys if we do that. We're definitely going to have to do an overshot. Mike, brother.
We'll have to put it on Facebook Live's Ryan Burleson
Yeah.
the whole time.
Facebook Live's very own.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Mike, brother, is there anything you'd like to say or end us with here, man?
No, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. And please don't get any bigger, as far as the team, or we're going to have to knock down a
Dude,
wall.
I'm serious, man.
we are all on top of each other right now.
It is, yeah. We
are elbow to elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the cave is not as big as one might expect.
Yeah, we'll knock down the wall.
Yeah, it's cozy. I think Carl said, but it's very, very cozy. Yeah.
So it's a good thing we didn't have a camera on right now.
No, it'd just be it'd be the blob of people, the blob of people here.
I did get
Everybody's on everybody's lap.
Yeah, we did get a picture though.
Get a picture.
Good Lord, you talk about.
But I was over there against the wall trying to get everybody.
I was outside the door.
Yeah.
You'd have to walk
get in
outside
here.
to change your mind.
Yeah.
About right now.
That's right.
But well, once again, everybody out there in Facebook land,
Who had a joke?
I had a joke, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the
Oh,
one.
okay. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me see if I can nail this thing live. All right. So, the Secret Service guy, is watching the president or whatever. And all of a sudden, he hears this other guy, out in the crowd. He starts going, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. They look around. They don't know what's going on. Well, this guy starts pulling out a gun. Well, the Secret Service just jumps on him and takes him out. Everything's fine. The president's fine and everything. But so they catch up the guy, and they're like, hey, why was you saying Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse? He's like, man, I saw the gun and I got confused. I meant to say Donald Duck, Donald Duck, Donald Duck.
Wow. Wow.
Mike, this is your fault. You brought it up.
Hey, you said, hey, don't let me forget about the joke. The joke, guys. He even told me right. Don't let me forget about the joke.
He did. He really did say that.
Got him.
That's about right.
There it is, brother.
One last thing for everybody watching. We will be live on our private group page here in just a little bit. We have a photo shoot to do after this. Once that's complete, we will be live on Facebook for the private group. So we hope to see all you guys over there. Be sure you hop on Patreon to join that group.
Bye, everybody.
Be a light in somebody's dark world.
Be a light in somebody's dark world, guys. Thank y'all for joining us.
All right, and until
out.
next week, y'all have a good one. And once again, First in Fright, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And not only that, David, I understand we're right at the end of our program.
We have got to
This has been a great event.
There's some people out there that